Jet Setter badge in here. Anybody? Okay, we got a couple. That's good. You know what I'm talking about. So essentially, I'll give you my favorite badge, the one with the alarm clock. It's if you check into a place after 3 a.m. on a school night, you unlock the school night badge. Which is, I don't know if you want to share that with your boss or anybody else if you show up at work next day, but it's certainly something that people are proud of and they like to share on Twitter and Facebook. So badges are hugely viral because people feel that they've earned them and they've done something cool to earn them. So another one is the gym rat badge. 10 times check into a gym in a 30-day period to unlock the gym rat badge, right? Oh, I'm so physical, I checked into the gym 10 times in 30 days, I'm the gym rat. Jet Setter, you have to check into 3 unique airports to unlock the Jet Setter badge. And we've created something that we call expertise, which means you can level certain badges. So if you checked into 45 unique airports on Foursquare, you have a Jet Setter level 10. And I mean, it sounds like a gaming element, but it also allows us to understand who are authorities in certain verticals, and should they maybe be influenced in to a certain extent, right? Should their tips maybe be ranked higher? So if, for instance, my boss is level 10 bento, which means he knows every Japanese restaurant in all the cities around the world. So if I need a recommendation when it comes to Japanese restaurants, he's the guy that I'm going to talk to. So the great thing about this is badges can also be created by partners. And one of the examples that I like to show off, and I know I've been talking a lot about them, but they're really a great example, is again the History Channel. And they created an I Heart London badge, which meant you had to check into 3 different places where they had left a tip. And then you unlock this badge, and the great thing is that the badge had a reward. And the reward was you could show this badge at certain pubs, museums, and theaters, and you actually got concessions for showing this badge, right? So again, a great way to interact with users, even though you don't have any physical locations, to give special rewards away. This is an example of people sharing these badges. It's super viral, as I mentioned. If you want to do a badge campaign, 3 things to keep in mind. Think about cool ways to unlock a rule. Checking into 3 places where you've left tips is a great example, but it could be an example of checking into a lot of sports places just in the run-up for, or a lot of sports stadiums in the run-up for the Olympic Games to unlock a badge, for instance. Think about a promotional campaign and a bigger story arc where the badge really fits into the marketing mix of what you're trying to achieve in the first place. And then think about some value that you put into the badge. For instance, MTV gave away tickets in their badge for the VMAs, VIP tickets for certain lucky people that won the draw. And you can put loads of different kind of rewards in there. Briefly talk about the Save to Foursquare button. So there's a concept of a to-do list on Foursquare. If I look through my friends stream on Foursquare and see where my friends are checking in, somebody might be checking into a Japanese restaurant that I really love. And then I could say, I want to add this to my to-do list. So the next time I walk by that place and I have radar enabled, my phone will remind me and say, hey, by the way, you actually saved this place to your to-do list. You might want to go and check it out. So it's a bookmark for the real world, really. The other great thing is if I don't have radar enabled, but just check in nearby that place, my phone's going to notify me and say, hey, you have a to-do nearby, you might want to check it out. And what we've done is we've taken this to the next level, really, and we allow brands to leave the Save to Foursquare button on their page. If there's an address or if it's an article about a specific place, an opening of a gallery, a conference, etc., there's a Save to Foursquare, you put the Save to Foursquare button on the page, people click that, we realize what place they're talking about, and then you can add that to your to-do list right away. The great thing is, you walk by that place the next time have radar enabled, and we'll tell you, oh, you added this place to your to-do list from the New York Times website, don't you want to go and check it out? So again, attribution for a content provider, really trying to tie the online at home experience to a real world offline experience. I'm going to skip through those a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the Foursquare API. So the Foursquare API essentially allows you to integrate the check-in functionality that Foursquare has built into any of your apps. So food spotting, Zagat, Path, Instagram, all are using the Foursquare API and the location database to tag locations to, or tag pictures or tag food, etc. to specific locations in the Foursquare API, which is pretty great. What we also allow you to do through the API is actually pull in any images or tips that people have left at locations to supplement any content that you have for a specific point of interest or for a conference. If you think Glastonbury, people are leaving loads of pictures and leaving loads of tips. If you're writing or doing a write-up about Glastonbury, you can pull all that content in and put that into your story, for instance. Or you could think about a creative campaign where you tell people to go to, let's say, a boot store and leave tips in the boot store about their favorite product, and then pull that content in and then tally up their favorite products and write a little bit of a story about it, right?